Can you imagine your life without electricity? Let's take a trip back to the 1800s, a time when electricity was a luxury, not a given. It was an era where homes were designed with ingenuity and practicality. They were built to stay warm in the frosty winter and cool in the blistering summer, all without the help of modern HVAC systems. Natural insulation, strategic window placement, and clever construction techniques were the secret weapons used to regulate indoor temperatures. In the heart of these homes, the kitchen meals were whipped up on wood-burning stoves. These stoves were the day's multitaskers, not only providing hot meals, but also exuding warmth to heat the home. When the sun set, oil lamps were lit, casting a soft, warm glow, a stark contrast to the harsh artificial lights we are accustomed to in our modern world. The rhythm of daily life was set by the rise and fall of the sun, not by the flick of a switch. Tasks were accomplished with hand tools, such as saws, hammers, and hand drills. These tools didn't require any power. Instead, they demanded good old-fashioned effort. But life before the electric age wasn't just about survival. It was about resourcefulness and resilience. It was about making the most of what was available and finding ways to live comfortably with less. It was a time when people understood the rhythms of nature and knew how to work with, not against them. In a world where we are increasingly reliant on electricity for almost everything, looking back at the pre-electric era can offer valuable insights. The ingenious designs, the practical tools, and the resourceful lifestyle of the past might seem antiquated now. However, they hold lessons that could prove critical in a future where electricity might not always be readily available. So, as we stand in our world of instant gratification and digital convenience, let's take a moment to appreciate the resilience and resourcefulness of our predecessors. In many ways, the pre-electric era was a time of resourcefulness and resilience. What can our ancestors teach us about living without electricity? Well, let's dive into the annals of history, particularly during the Great Depression, a time when survival with minimal resources was an art form. In those challenging years, people pushed their ingenuity to the limit, developing novel ways to stretch what little they had. A significant lesson from that era is the art of preserving food without the aid of electricity. They canned, dried, and preserved food in ways we might consider quaint today, smoking meats, pickling vegetables, and sun-drying fruits. These foods were then stored in cool, dark places to last through the harsh winter months. This wasn't merely about survival, it was about maximizing harvests, minimizing waste, and ensuring that no morsel of food was lost to spoilage. Resourcefulness was not just a trait during the Great Depression, it was a survival skill. People repurposed old clothes, mended broken tools, and reused everything they could. They extended the life of soap by keeping it dry between uses. And they knew how to make small amounts of food feed large families by adding cheaper, filling ingredients like potatoes and beans. Heat was another commodity that required creativity. Instead of relying on modern HVAC systems, families would gather around a single wood-burning stove, its warmth providing comfort during those cold winter nights. Insulation, too, was a matter of ingenuity. Materials such as hay or newspapers were used to keep homes warm, proving that you didn't need high-tech materials for effective temperature control. These lessons from the past remind us that we can live without the conveniences we now take for granted. We can preserve food, keep warm, and light our homes without flicking a switch or pushing a button. We can be resourceful, creative, and adaptable just like our ancestors were. Indeed, we may live in an era where electricity is a daily necessity, but our ancestors lived in a time when electricity was a luxury, if it existed at all. They not only survived but thrived, and their lessons of resilience and resourcefulness still hold true today. The past holds valuable lessons for a future that may not always have electricity. So let's embrace these lessons and carry them forward into our modern lives. How do communities like the Amish thrive without modern electrical conveniences? Let's dive into the Amish way of life, a fascinating blend of simplicity and innovation that has stood the test of time. The Amish community is a shining example of a society that values sustainability and community over convenience. Their homes are strategically designed to take advantage of natural light, with routines crafted around the hours of the day. This lifestyle not only reduces reliance on artificial lighting, but also fosters a deep connection with the natural world. Cooling in Amish households is a study in resourcefulness. Instead of modern refrigerators, they utilize ice houses or ice boxes. These structures store large blocks of ice collected during the winter months, providing a year-round solution for preserving food. This method of cooling is not only energy efficient, but also reduces the need for constant grocery shopping, promoting a less wasteful lifestyle. When it comes to cooking and heating, the Amish turn to traditional wood or coal stoves. These stoves serve a dual purpose, offering a means to prepare meals while also providing warmth during colder months. The use of renewable resources like wood underscores their commitment to sustainability. Lighting, too, is a return to the basics. Gas lanterns and oil lamps cast a warm, gentle glow in Amish homes, offering a stark contrast to the harsh artificial lights we are accustomed to. These lighting options are not only practical, but also create a soothing ambiance, promoting relaxation and tranquility. But it's not just about the physical aspects of their lifestyle. The Amish community places a significant emphasis on maintaining strong social ties. Communal activities, from barn raisings to quilting bees, are a common sight, fostering a sense of togetherness and shared responsibility. In essence, the Amish way of life is a testament to the power of adaptability, resourcefulness, and a deep understanding of living harmoniously with nature. It's a lifestyle that isn't reliant on the modern grid, demonstrating that it's entirely possible to thrive without the constant hum of electricity. Living without electricity doesn't mean sacrificing quality of life. It just means rethinking our priorities. And perhaps there are lessons we can take from the Amish as we navigate our own relationship with electricity and sustainability. How can modern tools assist in off-grid living? That's the question on everyone's mind as we delve into the realm of modern prepping tools. The advent of technology has given us a plethora of tools, each designed to ensure our survival in an off-grid scenario. High on this list are solar panels, a sustainable source of renewable energy. By harnessing sunlight, these panels provide a steady supply of power, enabling us to charge our devices and light up our homes. However, their effectiveness is subject to weather conditions and geographical location. An overcast day or a location with limited sunlight could render these panels less efficient. Next, we have hand-crank radios, a nod to the ingenuity of the past. These devices require no electricity, only good old-fashioned elbow grease, a few turns of the crank, and you have yourself a functioning radio for receiving emergency broadcasts or tuning in to weather updates. However, their operation is labor-intensive and could prove tiresome over time. Power banks, on the other hand, are a reliable source of portable power. These compact devices can store substantial amounts of energy, powering your gadgets when the grid goes down. But here's the rub. Once depleted, they need a power source for recharging, which might not always be readily available. These modern tools, while impressive, are not without their limitations. To truly thrive in an off-grid environment, we must go beyond mere tools. We must embrace adaptability, learn to work with what we have, and above all, be resourceful. This means thinking creatively, finding multiple uses for a single item, and learning to repair instead of replace. Living without electricity is not merely a case of swapping out our gadgets for their non-electric counterparts. It's about learning to live harmoniously with nature, scheduling our routines around the natural rhythm of daylight and nightfall, and rediscovering the satisfaction of hard work and the joy of simplicity. Living without electricity requires more than just tools. It requires a shift in mindset. Let's carry this thought forward as we explore how rethinking our daily routines can further aid in our quest for off-grid living. How can we rethink our daily routines to adapt to a life without electricity? Imagine a morning where your first thought isn't to check your phone, but to stoke the embers in your wood stove, heating water for your morning coffee. The aroma of the simmering brew, the warmth of the stove, the soft light of dawn filtering in. Quite a different start to the day, isn't it? This is one of the ways we can rethink cooking without electricity. Wood stoves, once the heart of every kitchen, can make a comeback. They require no power and provide a reliable heat source. Plus, they double as a home heating solution. But we have other options too. Rocket stoves, for instance, are efficient, use less fuel, and are perfect for outdoor cooking. Solar ovens, as the name suggests, harness the power of the sun to cook food, a zero-emission solution that's perfect for sunny climates. But what about propane, you ask? Well, propane stoves offer the closest experience to our modern stoves. Efficient, controllable, and relatively safe. They can be a valuable asset when rethinking our cooking routines, especially for those who can't part with their frying pans and soup pots. Now let's talk about water. In our modern lives, we take for granted the luxury of turning a tap for instant water. But without electricity, we need to rethink our water systems too. Gravity-fed water systems, which use the natural force of gravity to move water from a higher elevation to a lower one, can be a viable solution. They require no power, and with some clever engineering, can provide water to your entire home. Living without electricity is not about giving up comforts. It's about finding new ways to meet our needs. It's about becoming more connected with our environment, more aware of our consumption, and more resourceful in our solutions. It's about learning from the past, adapting those lessons to the present, and preparing for a future where we might have to, once again, live without the convenience of electricity. Living without electricity is not about giving up comforts. It's about finding new ways to meet our needs.